What's good, Panther Nation? It's your boy, Myron McRae, a.k.a. Tornado McRae across the skies of the internet, here with another episode of Panther Pride TV, your one-stop shop for all your Panther notifications and your Panther obligations. And happy Thursday to all of y'all. Hope y'all are having a good day. Let's go ahead and get into today's docket, man, because we have some questions. Some things are still looming, and you know what? Honestly, the question's still in the air of whether or not Bryce is still going to play this week, actually. NANI? It has not been ruled out that Bryce will not play. Now, I think a lot of us, myself included, are anticipating Andy Dalton to play. I'm putting more of my eggs in that basket that Andy Dalton is going to play over Bryce Young this week. However, they say everybody responds differently to high ankle sprains and things of that nature. And I rewatched the clip. I wish I meant to screenshot the photo I saw. And when I rewatched the clip of the play in question, I'm really curious as to how Bryce got the high ankle sprain. Maybe it was just the cleat hitting him at the top, because it wasn't like dude fully stepped on him. It was more so like he kicked him in the higher part of his ankle. But Coach Canales was speaking on the situation, and here's what Coach Canales had to say about it. When asking about like the QB decision and what's going to play a part in it, one, he says it's about the continuity and also that health is going to play a role. He says, I think it's a collective thing. It's about our processes, how we handle the work week, and those rhythms are very familiar to our players now, going into our second year. That part allows us to lay the foundation for fundamental improvement and execution. If Andy does have to play, I have full confidence being able to just call the game the same way I would normally call it, and have the balance and be attacking and aggressive in our spots. So he gives us an opportunity to keep pushing our football forward, which I love. If Bryce is ready to go, he's going to go, and the rest of the factors, like they all want Bryce to go, Andy included. While he would love to get out there and play, he's chomping at the bit. At this point in his career, he's like, any chance I get to get out there, whether it's finishing a game or going into a game, he's got a lot of gratitude about the opportunity potentially. He's pushing and he's trying and he's determined to make himself available for Sunday. So I can see Bryce trying to play, and I did not play at the NFL level. I played D1 collegiate. But just knowing how players can be, if Bryce, I think, is 80%, if he feels he's at least 80 to 85%, he's going to try to start. He's going to tell Canales to start him. Now, do I think that is the best thing at times? No, because sometimes you can be hurting your team and detrimental. And as much as we get on Bryce sometimes and what he does in the pocket, out of the pocket, his inconsistencies here and there, his mobility helps him a lot. And having a high ankle sprain, if he can't move as fluid as he does in the pocket, that is going to be a hindrance to him, which could be masked by leaning on the run game more. When you're leaning on the run game more and not asking him to pass as much or stand in the pocket as much, take certain hits and things of that nature, because he's standing in the pocket, you can kind of mask his mobility if it's limited. But if I had to make a guess, if Bryce feels like he's 85% ready to go by Saturday or even Sunday morning, he's going to try to go. He's going to try to play. He's going to try to do his thing. And it's going to come down to Canales and the organization thinking, is this best for Bryce? Is this going to harm his career down in the long run? Is it worth it? So I respect the athlete, but I also respect, like, hey, trying to protect, obviously, your franchise quarterback right now from further injuring himself or harming his career and anything of that nature. Hence the reason why we all saw Pat Jones get put on season in the IR, and the team was just like, you know what, just go ahead, get back surgery and end your season because we don't want to hurt you and it be detrimental to yourself in the long run. So in my mind, I foresee Andy Dalton starting, but the way they keep talking about it, I wouldn't be surprised if Bryce Young is trying to push himself to start on Sunday. That is just me. I don't know. But I will say this, the fact that it is still up in the air and it's not a definitive, oh, he's out, also bodes well that the injury isn't as severe as we thought in my mind. It doesn't mean like, oh, he's going to be out the 2 to 4 weeks that was originally expected. Oh, it doesn't mean like we got Andy for the long run, so on and so forth. So I do like that, and I will speak the positive on that aspect. And I think that's a good thing. And moving to other good things, man, I got to give a big shout out to this gentleman because Sam Martin won the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week this week, man. Shout out to punter Sam Martin. Hey, Sam, we love what you do. We love how you get down, man. And the reason being is because this past week versus the Jets, Sam had 4 punts. Actually, he had 6 punts against the Jets this past week, and 4 of those landed inside the 20-yard line. And that Sam is always pretty good at flipping the field for us. He's always pretty good at giving our defense a good shot of, hey, they're backed up in their own end zone. Y'all can go apply pressure. They got to go the whole length of the field to score. They don't get short field on us. And another good stat about this, and I'm seeing it now, so Sam, he's got 23 punts this year, averaging 47 yards, and is tied for 5th in the NFC for landing punts inside the landing punts inside the 20-yard line with 10 of those. And he did just 4 of those last week. So shout out to Sam Martin. Punters don't get enough love. Kickers don't get enough love. Kickers get a lot of hate. A lot more than punters, actually. And so shout out to our special teams guys, man. I love seeing them do their work. I love seeing them do what they do. They're like O-linemen. They don't get a lot of love, but they can get a lot of hate. And when it comes to punters, half the time we just like, all right, bro, he's just going to kick it the other way. And that's his job. But we do love great punts, especially when they can pin them down within like the 5, the 10, the 2, so on and so forth. So Sam Martin, kudos to you, my boy. Shout out for you getting that award. And then lastly, guys, third thing on the list is I want to know, would y'all consider this trade? So I saw this post in a Carolina Panthers group I'm in, and I want to know, would y'all consider this trade? So this was the post. And Carolina Panthers fans said, trade Chuba and Andy Dalton for Shedeur since Bryce is hurt.
Nani?
Again, trade Chuba and Andy Dalton for Shedeur since Bryce is hurt. Now, before I give my response, I want y'all to see what I saw in the comment section because that's what took me out. This is what I saw in the comment section. Said no, and that's a big no, crazy talk. Browns have Judkins. No, he more worried over his Rolex than football. That's crazy. It's like, somebody said yes. It's like, of course you think that's a good deal because you just like Shedeur. It's like, Bryce didn't have a career in injury. He sprained his ankle. Browns are good at running back. Would y'all rather have Shedeur Sanders or Sam Howell? Both went at pick 144. The memes were taking me out, bro. Dude said, huh? He said, yeah, there you go. So he's like, yeah, there you go. So then we get suck while the whole world watches. He's like, man, damn shame. He's like, man, it's a damn shame Panthers got to hate their own players. He's like, forget this page. Let's go Panthers. And then, man, sit your down. Oh, man. Like I said, the memes were taking me out. I'm going to say this. Absolutely not. I'm not trading Chuba and Andy Dalton for that. I like Shedeur. I actually do. And I have a video on my personal page explaining how I really think that situation is going down in Cleveland. And I posted it, I want to say, about 2 months ago. But yeah, if y'all want to go check out my thoughts on that situation, this was before the season started, how they were handling that. It's on my page. It's like the title, the thumbnail should say y'all hate him and it's Shedeur Sanders. Definitely think y'all should check it out. But as much as I like Shedeur, I'm not doing that trade. One, you just paid Chuba Hubbard $100 million. You better. I'm sorry, we're getting more than one season for paying $100 million unless you can offload it. Two, there's no guarantee that Rico's staying. There's no guarantee that Rico's staying after this season. So why would we immediately get rid of Chuba? 3, Andy Dalton is a seasoned vet. I've always felt as though you should have a seasoned vet as one of your backups on the roster, whether you have 2 quarterbacks or 3. I've always felt like you should have a seasoned vet, and Andy is a good seasoned vet. He's done well in Carolina. He understands the system. He understands what's trying to be done here, and he's not causing no issues. He's not causing no issues. And I feel like that is a lot to go get Shedeur. I feel like that is a huge trade to go get Shedeur Sanders. Not saying the man doesn't have talent. However, I'm not trading the guy who's been paid as our RB1 and our solidified QB2 for a guy who's getting screwed over, in my opinion, up in Cleveland. Shedeur did do a great amount in college. He did do that. Shedeur balled out, but he also has flaws in his game. He has some flaws. I'm not going to say Shedeur is perfect by any means. That is not enough to get an RB1 and a QB2 right now, especially because Cleveland hasn't even given us a chance to see what he can do in a real NFL regular season game over the course of a regular season. We've seen preseason, but we know how preseason can get down. We know how preseason is not indicative of the regular season. So I haven't seen Shedeur at NFL like full game speed, full regular season speed to justify that trade. That's the reason why I wouldn't make that deal. But y'all, would you make that deal? I wish I could put some of the memes and clips that I have from like my other videos, because I would have put the Inglourious Bastards clip. Would you make that deal? I think that would have been hilarious. But that's all I speak about that. And then lastly, it is time for y'all favorite segment, time for Panther Nation to speak your truth, man. Let's see what y'all got in the comment section. First comment comes from JMed4823. Man said, hey, one thing Panther Nation has to remember is the last time we really saw Andy D start, the team wasn't as good as they are now. So I don't care how he may have looked before. With this squad, he may go out there and look damn good. Bills reporters said they can't stop the run, and their secondary ain't worth a damn. Everybody catching passes on him. Andy might throw for 250 and 2 TDs, and they rush for 150 with 2 TDs. We'll find out. Keep pounding. Hey, man's not. It's a possibility. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. That is a very good possibility. It's a very good possibility. Main thing is can we contain that Bills offense? That's really it. Next comment comes from Rashik Barron, 63.99. Says, is Chuba a good fantasy play this week? Hoping at least 17 carries. This is like a tricky one because he could be great, but it could be bad. He's still coming off the calf injury, but it is against the worst rush defense. I'm going to say no because he's still coming back from the calf injury and whatnot. That's what I'm going to say. Now, if he goes off, you can come back and yell at me. I think somebody else in the comment section said it as well. Because he's coming off the calf injury, I wouldn't. If you have him, don't put him as a starter. Put him as a flex. I'll say that. If you have him and you don't have any other better flex options, put him at the flex because he could potentially go off if you're in that deep of a league. But if you have a number of flex options, a number of more consistent options, go with them before you go with Chuba. And then lastly, comes from T.YV4579. He says, what's wrong with Russell Wilson? He's pretty good in my opinion. The issue with Russell Wilson is he's not as consistent as he used to be. He is very sporadic. You don't know what you're getting out of Russell Wilson. You can get a 300-yard, 3-touchdown, 4-touchdown day, or you can get 150 with 3 picks and no TDs. And I know that's crazy coming from Panther Nation because we had Bryce. Some people are going to say, well, we had Bryce Young. Here's the thing. The expectation for Russell Wilson is a lot higher right now because of what we've seen him do over the course of his career than it is Bryce Young. Let's be real. Let's be honest. So, Russell Wilson doesn't get the leeway to make some of the decisions he's been making when peers his age, such as Aaron Rodgers, Joe Flacco, and Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff, they are still maintaining the consistency that they do. They are still at that level that they operate at. So that's the reason why I wouldn't start Russell Wilson. That's just me. And that's why I wouldn't want Russell Wilson. But hey, you have your own opinion, bro. You think he's pretty good. I don't think he's the worst QB in the league by any means, but I personally would avoid him. That's just me. But guys, with that being said, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell at the bottom so you can always be notified of when these videos are dropping. Next, remember, if you want to see more of my own personal content or my other videos with more clips and edits, be sure to follow my personal page at Tornado McRae on YouTube. And lastly, comment below and let me know what are your thoughts about who do you think is going to start this Sunday, Andy Dalton, or do you think Bryce is going to be back and start? 2, are y'all happy to see our boy Sam Martin get NFC Special Teams Player of the Week? And 3, would you trade Chuba and Andy Dalton for Shedeur Sanders? Let me know in the comment section below because at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with 2 tats. Peace. With all you Panther Nation. Take care. Later days. And as always, keep pounding. I'll see y'all next time.